Okay, here we go. Showtime.
In progress. Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
I am driving home. I should be home in about 10 minutes.
Take your time.
Okay.
This is the meet and greet section.
Okay, wonderful.
Oh
Well, does it bother you to see me driving? Should I turn my camera off?
no. And it's
Okay.
the meet and eat section.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect timing then.
So we are all family.
Just
Yes.
drive safe. That's the main thing. Drive safe.
Oh, I will.
Hello, cousin
Did y'all
Evelyn.
watch the Final
Hello,
Four?
how you doing?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
I actually got to go to that game last night.
Yeah, I'm even watching the girls now.
Oh, awesome. One of my cousins called me last minute and said he had an extra ticket to the game, so I went. And it was San Diego against
Hi, Larry.
Florida Atlantic.
Florida, Miami. Yeah, Florida. Not
Hi,
Miami,
Larry.
but Florida, because the Miami played UConn after that.
No,
Hi.
Florida
Can you hear me?
Atlantic. Florida
Yes.
Atlantic.
Yes. That was an amazing game.
Oh man.
It just makes me sad though that anybody has to lose, you know?
Yeah, we were pretty happy out here.
I know
guess
you
so.
are.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, cuz, how you doing?
All right.
Great.
Jerry,
Yeah.
this is Larry that just come in.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, how you doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. How about the San Diego State?
Oh man. You see, we happy.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm happy for you guys. So Michigan
thank you,
State
thank you.
lost.
Yes. It was a good game though. Excellent.
So they're going to be playing in Houston next, eh?
Tomorrow.
Well, all the games was in Houston. The next game is tomorrow night, the final two.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am Larry. My mom is Marietta Harlan's. So we are on the Harlan Markham side where my family's from, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Nice to meet you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Are you related to the Burnells?
I may be. I'm still doing some research on that.
Okay.
But we have a lot of bands, Harlan's, Markham's, Alford. One of my other cousin that lives here, Kimberly, that lives here in California. And there's just a lot of family I still haven't met yet.
Okay.
What part of California are you in?
I'm in LA.
Okay. I'm down in San Diego.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good
Los
to know.
Angeles.
Are you in Los Angeles as well?
Yes. Yeah, close to the Crenshaw district.
I'm on the Crenshaw district, Slauson and Crenshaw area.
You know, Slauson, I'm off of King and West.
Okay, we're around the corner from one another. I used to
Yeah,
pass your house
we
going to work every morning.
Yeah, we could walk to each other's house, in other words.
Pretty much. Yeah. So I see they changed the name on the new stadium down there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You know, Magic Johnson owned part of that.
Yeah, Magic got his hands in everything.
Well, he getting ready to get a hands in the football team next.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yes.
It's about time.
I am proud of him because, you know, he's doing a lot of stuff that a lot of black athletes should be doing.
Should
besides
have
Michael
been
Jordan.
doing. Yes.
Yeah.
Should
Instead of
have been
putting out,
doing.
instead of giving
Right.
their money away to the court system, going to
Exactly.
jail, you
Yes.
know.
I
But
like
I mean,
the fact that he's from Michigan.
yeah, he
He
may
went to
be.
Michigan State.
He's from Michigan, but he's our son. We watch him grow up.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Way
So
back
he
in the
can't.
day.
No,
So
you can't
in
have
our
him.
eye, in our
We
eyes,
can't
he
have him.
Him and Cookie, you can't have them.
Well, that's true. Oh no, they're here. They're good. But I just proud of Cookie though. That's who I'm most proud of
Yeah.
because she could have left him and walked away and had a pocket full of
Millions.
money, but she
Right?
said, "Nope, I'm
That's
staying
right.
with this man, thick and thin." So that's a blessing.
Oh
For
yeah.
better, for worse.
Oh yeah.
She's a better woman than most, I can say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, she could have packed up and left, but she didn't. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I just so disappointed that he had to get out of basketball early than what he wanted to, but that's life.
Yeah.
So where's everybody else from besides LA and San Diego?
Michigan. Oh, I'm sorry. Nevada.
Okay. You in Nevada?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay. Reno?
No, Henderson.
Henderson? Okay. One of my
Mhm.
favorite spots, Las Vegas area. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, always there. At least twice a year.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we moved here from Michigan. My husband's job brought us here, so we've been here about 20 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Jerry feeding that face. He ain't got no time to talk.
He ain't
Look
talking.
at
He
it.
did eat. He said, "Y'all go ahead and
Got to get it in.
He ain't sharing either. He just put the spoon up to us, let us know that he's thinking about us.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask you something, Jerry. That background,
Go ahead.
you
Yeah.
see this back, what is that? Is that are you by the ocean or? Hmm?
No, on Zoom,
Mhm.
you can have virtual backgrounds. And some
Really?
of them are in the program and you can
Mhm.
add your own.
Okay.
And so down there where it says video,
Mhm.
in your video, you can look and you can add a virtual background because sometimes people are on the go, they might not be home, and they can change it back and forth. You can change different virtual backgrounds.
Got it. Thank you.
That's a
That
good
looks
thing to
nice.
know.
Yeah,
Oh
I've
yeah,
learned
and
so
go ahead.
I've learned so much, in the two meetings. Well, the one meeting I was in, I learned a whole lot. And because I took notes.
Yeah, well, it's right down by your video, and if you pick video, we call those a flyout, right to the right, a flyout,
Mhm.
and then you choose a virtual background, and that's where you can choose a virtual background, and they have some that's already loaded, or you can blur your background. You see that sometimes, like if you're at home and you just want to blurry, you can do that, or you can use a virtual background, or you can take it
Okay.
off.
Mhm.
But I usually, being out here in California, I like to, sort of share some of the sun.
Okay. That's nice.
When we have it, right?
Yeah, it's just recently we've had it.
Exactly. Well, at least I think the last 2 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tomorrow is supposed to start raining again.
And my prayers go out to the people, the family members, and the people, across the country because it's been tragic. What's been going on?
Right.
Yeah.
Very tragic. I mean,
Absolutely.
God's wrath it's wide this
Yeah.
year.
Yes, it is.
He's not discriminating against anybody.
No,
So
He
not when we
isn't.
got to.
let's just make the best out of the time we have, and stay focused on doing what's right,
Mm-hmm.
We all
enjoying our
need to stay prayed
family,
up.
praying for them, and if there's anything that we can do to help them, do that too.
Right.
So Jerry, all your family members, any from Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Yes,
Oh, okay,
the Tulsa area, Muskogee,
Muskogee, okay.
yeah, all that area there. That's the area that after we migrated out of the Texarkana area in Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
Prescott,
Mhm.
Willisville, Hope, Washington, all those areas. That's where our family's originally from. Columbia County, Nevada County. They migrated uh, to. They came west and they went up north to work in the different industries. Anywhere from the packing houses to cars in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And in California, they migrated out to California. So my second great grandparents and all the Burnells, they migrated out to California. So we have family on the East Coast and the West Coast. I'll be able to
Right.
show you some of that when I do one of my displays.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, because I noticed that I had met a lot of Markhams in Chicago. There's a lot of Hershey's. One of the relatives was a Hershey on the Harlan side up in Seattle, Washington. So my mom always told me that the whole family structure is from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the important factor is DNA is bringing our family together.
Yep.
And we're
True.
using it. We're using it as a tool, and we're helping each other.
Absolutely.
Wandale, did you get your kid off?
No, you know what, Jerry? When I went through my kit, I didn't have the plastic bag to send it out there. So I sent them an email. They responded, but they didn't send anything back. So I called them the other day and asked them, is it okay if I just put it in a sandwich bag or something? So the lady had to leave me a couple of times to find out that that was going to be okay, because I wanted to make sure there was nothing special about the package. And I said it just wasn't complete, you know. So I'll be sending that in to them the way it is and hope that they'll accept it the way it comes through the mail, you know. But I sure emailed them and asked them and called them and asked them because they didn't respond fast enough. Because I waited for them to respond about a week, and and they responded to the email. That was crazy, but they responded. So we received the email. Somebody get back with you? Never. But I called them, and they said that it'll be okay because I just wanted to make sure nothing special about what I needed to place uh the test in. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, I get that out.
And they said yes, you can do it that
They
way.
said yes. Yeah, because I wanted to make sure because I told them I said my package wasn't complete. You know, So I just wanted to make sure. So I get that out. I'll get that out this week. So I just talked to them the other day.
That's good.
Yeah, because I'm digging all through that box and I don't see what I need to send anything. I got the box to send it back in, but nothing to put the test in. So
Hey, it's a process. There's a reason for it. So just carry on.
oh yeah, I'm gonna get it in, but I'll be calling you this week anyway.
Okay.
I'll be calling you probably Monday, probably maybe late on Tuesday or Monday, late tomorrow. I'll give you a call tomorrow evening.
Okay, what we're gonna do, we have during this session, we're gonna contact we're gonna have our meet and greet. And as people come in, we're gonna go with the flow and go into our presentation and just keep it going, because what you see here are some of the people who participate, per the meeting, but we have a number of people who view the videos afterwards because they're recorded and they let us know how helpful it is for them to have the recordings.
Question, Jerry, before you go further. So you're recording right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have the ability to record as well, or is it that you're recording and we can review your recordings?
You can record if I allow you to.
Oh, okay.
You can be a shared host. Up in the right-hand corner of your screen, there's 3 dots, and I can share. You can be the co-host, because sometimes I have to go or something's happening. And you notice when Jerry is up of your screen, right-hand corner, there's 3 dots.
Yeah, it says view, and there's the 3 dots.
No, not over there in your screen. Actually, in your screen, there's 3 dots in your
I don't
screen where
see.
your face is.
Mine is at the very bottom where you was talking about the virtual. It was at the bottom.
I don't see it.
I don't.
Online.
When I
And then it
go,
says permission needed from meeting host.
But I can share. You can you can be a co-host, and you also can have permission to record. I can give you permission to record because sometimes people don't have the program, number one, and they can only record up to a certain amount of time.
okay.
But mine is unlimited.
But you're recording it. Can you send us a file?
Yes.
Okay, the file.
Yours shows up on YouTube, right, Jerry?
Yes. All of our recordings are under YouTube under Moss Genealogy Research Group. Our last meeting, Fanny, was on Moss Genealogy Research Group. It was part of it.
Okay. Got it.
And
Elizabeth.
you use it, you use it as a tool, and it's good to go back and reflect on some of the things, see yourself, and see the progress, and see some of the presentations we have, and then you can use, it's educational.
Okay.
So it's not only educational, it's also entertaining.
Hi,
We've got a few entertainers coming in.
Elizabeth.
In and out.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Jerry,
Hello,
do you have any
everyone.
pictures? Hi,
Hey,
Elizabeth. How are
hey,
you?
cousins.
Jerry, do you have any pictures of some of the family members from back in the day?
Yes. I have a number of pictures of the people,
okay.
family members.
Okay.
That's
You want to share them?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Are they on your Yahoo page?
Oh, on my what?
Can you send them to us through Yahoo?
I can
But the
show you
pictures?
some. I can show you some through let me show you some. I can show you some through my through what I store my pictures all. I store them in a certain category on my computer, and then I put them in different locations, on the tree. And so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how to. I'm gonna show you how you can do that and save your pictures, and save with your research. When you're doing your research, you want to save with your you want to save what your research. While you're researching, you want to save what's on your screen. Have you ever heard the term snipping tool?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
You, you have, Fanny?
I have, yeah.
Well, the good thing about the snipping tool, you snip your research and it's in color. And so that's why while I'm working, I'm also saving all my information. And I save it by dates, times, uh, um, and usually when you're doing research on one person, it leads to another person. So you save that information, and you know on that date I had this much information that I saved on this ancestor or this current relative when you do your
Mm-hmm.
research, because some of these people they match you and you don't know who they are, and they match you real close. They're like great nephews, great nieces. They're
Mm-hmm.
like first cousins. They're like half brothers, half sisters.
Ah, now
Hmm.
you know what?
Mm.
This week I found out that I have one of my sisters is half, and they were not. Let's just say they didn't like the news,
Really?
really. So
Mm.
I found it. I kept looking at this DNA match I had, and I went into it, and it had like a partial tree in it. So it said that one of my sisters was my half sister. One of my older
Mm.
sisters was my half sisters. Well, I called her and said, half sister, thinking that she might want to know, and she didn't want to know. So that was that. And I went back into that tree again, and it was gone. They had
She
deleted
must
it.
have took it down. She didn't like that part. Huh?
Nope. But you know what? DNA don't lie. So I don't care. I'm gonna keep going, move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
unfortunate part about that, people don't like the news that they get, but the truth is the truth. And it's
Yep.
still something that you should know because kids pass each other's path, they cross each other's path, cousins
There you go.
cross each other's path, everybody crosses each other's path. And it's something that you should know and be aware of that. You shouldn't shut anybody out because this is what it says.
Right.
And there's nothing to be angry about either because
Right.
nobody has control of what goes on or what anybody did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Especially back in the
exactly.
day. Mm-hmm.
Right. Cousins, married cousins, and all
Yeah.
of the other stuff. So,
And don't
yeah,
the thing, and they don't even, a lot of them don't even know it.
exactly. And that was one of my reasonings for doing my research is I didn't want my grandkids to go out and marry a cousin or an uncle or an aunt or whatever. Didn't want that. Mm-mm. So, knowing the history of the Burnells, Jerry, knowing that
Yes,
history, I
yes.
did not. Didn't want it to happen. So I set out to try to find out who my family was or is to hopefully eliminate that possibility. So that's my thing.
That's a
I'm
wise
sorry.
Yeah,
move.
that
Wise
that is
move.
some that is some crazy stuff. I'll be watching a lot of fraternity court case,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of that comes up on that. They had a one where this guy and girl they was madly in love with one another and thought they might have been brothers and sisters. But come to
Mm-hmm.
find out at the end, they wasn't brothers and sisters, and the girl was already pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the old singers back in the day. You know how the old singers or R&B singers used to travel all over the United States performing and stuff, having kids here, having kids there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And one of the brothers got mad. One of the guys got mad and told the sister, "You ain't none of my kin. You just a gold digger, you know."
Mm.
And then the other guy came into the courtroom and said, "Well, I'm the oldest out of both of you guys, and that was my dad, and he had all the information on his dad. And when they did the DNA test, all three of them were brothers and sisters from the
Wow.
family."
Mm.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. 'Cause you can
Jerry,
have a lot of
Go ahead.
fusion.
I'm looking at your agenda.
Yes,
Yeah, I tried to uh you said you're gonna be sharing new tools.
yes.
You- Okay. Okay.
Yes, I'm just soaking in some of the personal comments, and
Mm-hmm.
see, God is the source, and we're the ambassadors and the messengers. And as Wandell said, the truth can't be hidden. You too, Fanny.
Mm.
And our family, it's important for somebody to speak truth to power and stay focused and do the right thing and say the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have some very personal information, and we value it. And so
Mm-hmm.
when we do our research, we're cognizant of that. And so we help people from who were aborted, adopted,
Mm-hmm.
and to talk to the mothers and made them feel better that they did put the child up for adoption.
Adoption.
And then
Right.
we talk to the child and then bring them together, and it goes three circles.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they don't match us close, we still, like with the Central Morgans, we still work with them. And then with our time and efforts and our tools, we end up bringing, okay, this, you're part of this branch, you're part of this cluster,
Mm-hmm.
you're part of, and then, okay, here's how we're related. And then sooner or later, they find their, they find, they find
Mm-hmm.
their, their parents, or they find their family.
Right.
So I just want to take 1 minute to, uh, Elizabeth, would you elaborate on that? How it happened when I
Mm.
met you, and what you discovered, please? Would you,
Yes.
if it's not too personal, your story?
No, it's not too personal. Hell, I don't have a problem with it. I initially I did the ancestry DNA because I wanted to learn about my habit name. I wanted to understand more of the where it come from. So I did the DNA, and the first message I got was from Jerry, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, new cousin," and he introduced himself. He gave me the whole rundown, and I'm scratching my head like I don't know this person, but anyway, he said he's my cousin. I'm gonna trust it, and so it went on. I got another message from someone else, and we're related. So my sister, um, well, Jerry told me about the Zoom meeting, so I got on and I invited my sister Shirley to come on, and we did 3 Zoom meetings, and I'm meeting a lot of wonderful people and hearing their stories. Um, and I'm really like baffled because I'm seeing all these different names and all these people on GEDmatch I'm not aware of. I don't know nothing about. All these names are new to me, but I'm related and I'm not understanding. So my sister, well, look, I'm gonna keep be honest. Okay, I told the story about growing up. My mom had 13 kids. She had 9 girls and 4 boys. But growing up, my oldest brother always made fun of me and teased me and said I was adopted, I was found, I was left on the doorstep. But I never thought anything of it. So as we did the ancestry Zoom meetings like we're doing now, by the time we did the 3rd meeting, my sister Shirley and I, once we finished, we would always call each other and talk about the meetings. And so she said to me, she said, Liz, she said, what if it come back that daddy not your daddy? I said, girl, what you talking about? I said, not you too. So she went on to tell me the story about this man she thought was a pastor, used to come to the house and this and that or whatever. Make a long story short, and found out she got her DNA and whatever, and found out that we are half sisters. So what my brother was doing had some truth to it. I just didn't know it. Okay, he might have knew, I don't know, but that's where it brings me here now. I know that I'm in the mosque, I'm a Kazi, and so many different people. I don't know these people, but I know that this is a puzzle that's been missing in my life, because all my life growing up, I've always told I never looked like anyone. I don't act like anyone, but I never thought anything of it. So I don't know my biological dad, but I know that there's a part of me that of him that is in me, but I'm just exploring and learning my way. I found this out, I was 62. So I can imagine what these younger people, younger folks are feeling when they find out that their dad is not their dad. And I tell you, it set me back, but I know who my father is, and that's God.
Amen.
Right,
Right.
right.
So doing this research, and even though I don't know the people, I still reach out, I still send messages, whether they respond or not. The bottom line is God is my father. I would really, it made me sick for a minute to find that out, but I'm okay today. I'm okay.
Thank
And I'm meeting new people every time I come on these ancestry meetings, because we're connected. We're a family, one way or another, somewhere.
Right.
I haven't made all the connections.
thank you for that testimony. And the other
Yes.
the other interesting part of the story is she lives in San Diego.
Yes, sir.
Around the corner from here.
She's
Yes.
only about half a mile away,
Mhm,
and we've had a lot of time together.
mhm.
Her her granddaughter and my great granddaughter, and Elizabeth and me. So now we've built a relationship,
Well,
and
that's
so
a
Wow.
beautiful thing.
that's what's transpired. And
Yes, yes. And then, it's like I said, I have a very large family, but to know that my family is even larger than what I've even imagined. Wow. I'm like floating on cloud nine. I haven't met anyone in person, but just talking to everyone, it's a joy. It's like, wow, I get to learn something new about someone else. So yeah, we have to do it with an open mind, because like my sister, she was upset with herself. She said, man, I wish I'd have kept my mouth closed. I told her, I said, Shirley, I'm 62. You did keep your mouth closed.
Right.
So I told her, but I had to let her know that that
Mhm.
wasn't on you. That was the adults. Okay, that was a grown-up thing. You had nothing to do with that. So
Right.
we have to take the bitter with the sweet, but at the same time, don't let it stop us. Don't let us stop our journey. Don't let it stop us from searching and finding the people that we're related to, whether they respond back or not. Because if, like you guys said, our children and our grandchildren are the most important ones. They need to know who their people are, so they won't do that, grow up and marry their cousin, their brother, sister, but it happens.
thank you.
But back in the day, before our time, the older guys, man, they was marrying and being with all different women and never they really got married to them, just having babies and moving on.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what happens. One of my cousins, before he moved back to Tulsa, he told me, he said, I found this document of one of our relatives. He had 5 different wives,
Mm.
Wow.
Ooh,
5 different wives, 5 kids from each one of them. Ain't that
ooh,
something? That's crazy.
He wasn't
yeah.
married to all five of them at the same time, was he?
No.
Okay. All right.
Well,
That,
see,
yeah.
I mean, I had to ask
but
that
see,
question, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
but
It
this is the
happens though.
Valid. It's
yeah,
valid.
but this is
Yeah.
the thing with me. My mother's mother never got married to the Harlans, though she
Okay.
had 4 kids under the Harlan name. Then she moved on and had one son who was an Oliver. Then she moved on and had 2 more boys who last name was Burge
Hmm.
So
before she got
Well,
married.
I have a
So
question. I have a question for everybody. Um, this is the meet and greet section, and that's like about 30 minutes. That's what it is. But what does it mean for 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 us to sit and talk and tell our stories? What does that mean to you all?
Oh, it's great to me. Awesome. I just sat back and soak it all in.
Mhm.
You know, for me, it's like, um, first of all, learning who I am.
And what
You
it
know,
is what it is it's therapeutic.
it is
Mhm.
therapeutic.
See,
Yes.
so that's what we're having is a sort of a session like that. And that's one of the reasons on my format. That's why I ask questions. Oh, I want to get some kind of feedback and make it personable as if we were sitting right across the table and hear from each
Mhm.
other.
Mhm.
And let you all have some dialogue as opposed to throw all these calculations and all this, that kind of information because we're we're all we got. A couple
Yeah.
of years ago, that terrible pandemic and it's still here.
Yes.
Mhm.
It leveled the playing field.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to facilitate and do it gives me a purpose. And
Uh,
when I focus on others, I don't it takes me away from some of my challenges, you see? And as long as I'm helping others and uh, helping them accomplish their goals, find their family members, and
Mhm.
build relationships with you all because we're building relationships. And I'm in engineering and construction, and I that's what I do. But this is so rewarding; it's priceless.
Right.
Mhm.
This is the power of
Mhm.
technology is what we're dealing with that brings everybody together because
Mhm.
without the technology and science today, these are all the questions that we couldn't even get answers for, that are here today that's available. And one of the other things too is that, like me, I'm born in Nebraska. Now, my dad and Jerry's dad are brothers, but because in the state of Nebraska, my mom and dad wasn't married, so I had to take my mom's last name, which is Jackson.
Mhm.
See, and that's the way it was in Nebraska. Now, I don't know what it is in other states. I mean, I didn't know that the Moss existed till I was 24 years old.
mm,
24, when
Well,
I got ready to go and take a trip back to Nebraska. And this is when my mom told me, because my uncle was going to tell me, see, but while
yeah.
my stepdad was living, nobody wouldn't dare mumble a word.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So there's a couple ways I could have took that. I could have been pissed off because I was denied the right to really know that there was
Mhm.
another side of family. But I also realized too, while some of my family members on my stepdad's side, they were kind of like semi-cruel in a different kind of way. And you're trying to figure out why are people acting this way towards you? Well, you come to find out, they don't look at you like the way you're looking at them because you don't know, they know something that
No.
you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
when you get that news, now the puzzle to the pieces to the puzzle, they fit,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah.
So this is what you get. So now, had I had that last name Moss, I'd have already knew there was another
Uh-huh.
side.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
knew the last name Jackson. That's all my mom's family, and I
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
didn't know that my stepdad wasn't not my biological father. He had died 3 years prior to the fact that I found out he was not my father.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he raised me from the time I was a child.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? But that's the news that was kept from me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I couldn't get pissed off because everybody got a story. You don't know what goes on between people.
That's right. That's
I
right.
couldn't get pissed off at my mother, and I couldn't get pissed off at my dad either.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So they did what they feel like was best for me. But I'm blessed to know that the fact that I did get a chance to meet, and I had two sisters.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so the blessings is always there, no matter how the message comes.
That's right. That's right.
Look at it. You got to
Yeah.
look at it as a blessing,
But
and
see,
that's
you
how I
know
look at
what?
that.
You were open enough to accept all of that. Some people just don't want to accept
No.
it. Like my sister, she
Yeah.
just didn't want to accept the fact that, and I'm still not sure which one is my half sister, which older sister is my half sister, because both of their names is Dorothy. Their first names is Dorothy.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so don't shoot the messenger,
No.
So
Just be, the thing about it is be receptive. That's the whole thing. You have to be receptive to the news that you hear, because
Uh-huh.
it's still the truth, no matter how you dice it.
Mhm.
It's still the truth.
it
You
is.
can't hide that.
But back in the day, a lot of families taking a lot of this kind of information to the grave.
What,
Oh
what, what,
yeah.
no,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
technology is digging it up
But
today.
you're right.
Oh
It's
yeah.
digging it up.
You're
yeah.
right. Thank God for the census back in the day when they started taking them. And then knowing what's going on now, man, it's crazy to find out that, just like, I didn't know this gentleman lived down the street from me, and I passed his house going to work every day for
That's saying something.
for almost 40 some odd years.
That's saying a lot. That says a lot.
Same neighborhood. Yeah,
And
Mhm.
that's how close we are. And we
yes,
don't even know that we're in each other's backyard. But see,
exactly.
that's what the power of DNA and
Mm.
technology, hey, the power of Zoom to bring people's faces to your face. You know
Yeah.
them when you see them now.
How many times you been to San Diego?
Me,
Right there in
oh,
Jerry's backyard. I've been to San Diego so many times. I could have met Jerry like 19,000 times.
Really?
Mhm. I've been a couple of times since I
Yeah.
moved
Yeah.
to Nevada. Yeah.
See, even that.
My daughter she loves San Diego.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah,
beautiful place.
Yeah,
exactly.
we,
Nice place to go and hang out
she
on the
had
beach or something.
she has progressive MS, and so she fly out here for her birthday, and then we drive her over to San Diego because she
Hmm.
likes it.
Right.
But next time we go, Jerry, I'm coming. I'm hunting you down.
You got it, cuz. All right,
That's
Okay.
that's good.
let's go on into the program here.
Hmm.
I'm gonna share my screen. All right, let's see. The first thing that I'll share with you, it's what's happening with Ancestry. Can you see this Ancestry
Hmm.
Yes.
in the pictures?
Yes.
Hmm.
Right. Uh-huh.
All right. Ancestry is trying to keep people in, and they have new information that they're sharing. But I want to show you one of my tools that I use to recruit and to recruit my relatives. And it starts with these pictures. Every one of these pictures are a relative.
Oh.
Yes. And they rotate every couple of days. And these people who are in these pictures, sometimes they recently have been on Ancestry, and some haven't been on in a year or so.
Hmm.
So my background, I like to fish, and so one of the tools that I use to connect with these relatives here, what I do, they rotate. So you'll notice that they'll rotate all these different pictures. They
Mhm.
are your relatives, or they wouldn't be in these pictures. So that's one thing. And so I started off with maybe some of my DNA relatives. You see the list when you get your emails, how many people are on the list. I had to break that down to three different lists. I have three lists because somebody threatened to ruin our contacts, and so I had to break them down to three different lists. But what I do is I do phishing with this. I have a reach out text message that I send to these people on these trees. I mean, in these pictures, and I just changed the name and I copy and paste. And I ask them, I tell them who I am, my basic information, and I ask them to respond. And because I don't answer unknown numbers, and then they give me their feedback, and that's how I establish building a rapport with them.
Mhm.
So this is your acres of diamonds right here. These pictures, and one of these pictures, some of them, they're low in your central mortgage. See, central mortgage go from 7,000 is us. 7,000. My kids are 3,500. My grandkids are half of that, 17, and that's in one direction. And the same thing goes to your ancestry going up. So that being said, once I match one of these people, I'll show you what I'll do. I'll do a shared match, and let me see, like this person, and let me know if you can see that. Can you see
Yes.
that?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll do a shared match right here. Move this over, and she matches me on my father's side because I color coded my matches. And the reason why, as you see, there's shared matches, and these are the people who show up, like Judy, and these people. I gave them, so she's on my father's side of the family.
Mhm.
So can you see her name is Janice Robertson?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right up here on messages, did you see me click messages?
Yes.
I have these different people here. Let me click this one.
So
This
you
is my
you automatically be able to send them a message.
yeah, this is my reach out text message. And watch what I'll do. I'll take
Mhm.
that and come down,
Copy it.
Mhm.
right click, copy.
Mhm.
But take time to make a reach out text message. And basically what it's saying, hello, new cousin. And this person happened to be Camry. So I'll change that name. I tell them what my name is. I already know what the central mortgages are. So I'll put you and I share this 12 central mortgage across this segment. And I can tell them if they're on my mother's side or father's side because I've already did my share match. Y'all saw that, didn't you?
Mhm.
And then what
Jerry,
pardon me?
could you, on this one section, you got your GEDmatch number in there?
Yeah, I
Would you
have a
tell
gym
the
match.
would you tell the importance of that GEDmatch number?
Yeah, it, not yet, uh, but I will. That's another
Okay,
thing we're going to discuss.
all
As a
right.
matter of fact, Iris is going to give the presentation, Eflin, and she's going to get
Oh,
into that.
okay.
I'm going to give you some who, what, where. This is what I do. It's like fishing. And all those pictures, they're like an ocean. So you notice I did a cut and paste,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Mhm.
So I tell them who my name is. You related on my father's side, the surnames I'm researching. You know, I'm a founder of this here group. Here's my GEDmatch number, a little bit about me, my mother, where she's from, her surnames. Because I did research. So you got to do your work first. And then the Mosses and the Burnells are originally from Nevada, Columbia, and Hempstead counties. Talked a little bit about my grandfather. So I went through some details.
Mhm.
Then I broke it up again. I host these meetings. And this is how you can get in the meeting. And the meeting's going to be the first and the third. And the purpose is to create bonds with the family. Let me know if you want a private Zoom meeting. And so we have those. Haven't we? Haven't
Mhm.
we had private Zoom meetings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And send the meeting to other people if you want to participate. Fanny, you've done that, haven't you?
Yes.
And so, and then I send it. And so what happens is I get these responses back. Like here's one from Kendra. What they'll do, they'll send me back, hey, thank you so much for the message. You provided a lot of information. I'm definitely interested in reaching out soon. If I may, can I share this information with my mother, Catherine? She'll be 71 in June. She's familiar with various branches of our family. You know, she's in the middle of a huge project. However, I wouldn't mind reaching out and touching base very soon. I'm very appreciative for you reaching out to me. My email address is, here's her email address. Thank you again, and may the Most High bless you. What just happened?
Yeah.
I hooked her, right?
Yeah.
And I was able to bring her in because she gave me her information. So I jot that down in my log book. And so that's another person. And she's a fourth through sixth cousin. And you know, so I can do some, you know, we can do something together. But
so how you know where to put her in your tree?
No, I don't know where to put her in my tree yet, but like that's where we can start building.
Right.
So I just want to give you an example of how the technique that I use. And I recommend that you all do the same. Build any one of these people, you pick on their names. And also I look at Dara, for example. Where is she at? She didn't say very much about where she's from. And I'll see their story. Some of them said, I'm adopted. I really need to know who my family members are. And some people, they shine away from that. You know what I mean? I can't help you. I'm in the same boat.
But it's bad when they can't share information containing to what's going on. And I mean, you cannot communicate back with them because you don't know anything about them.
Yeah,
so that's when you get that unassigned.
Yeah, and so here's this guy Calvin. He's Pensacola, and he grew up. He says a little bit about himself, aircraft carrier, and my family ties, and mostly. And so you click on him, double click, share and match, and this color is on my father's side. So what I'll do is I send him a message. Watch this. If I haven't sent, okay, I sent one of them today. And what I did is right down here in the message part, let me move this up out the way. In this portion, I do a click here, right click, paste. And look at all that information that just went in there. You see that?
Right.
And then I just change it. His name is Calvin, Calvin. I know he's on whatever side of the family. I tell him he's this much, and he's related to my father's and mother's side. And then all I have to do is say send. Now, how's that for fishing?
Okay, I have a question, Jerry.
Yes.
He was the one I showed unassigned, right? When he the one?
He was unassigned, but like the program.
But why can't you go in and you said he's on your dad's side, right? So
yes.
Why can't you go in there and put him under your paternal side?
I did. I did. I did put him in.
So why is it still showing that he's unassigned?
No, here he is right here. He's not unassigned. There he is. He's
right
red.
Here. Edit relationship.
Yeah, see that? He's red. See that? That's my
father. But what about this edit relationship over here?
I'm not dealing with that right now.
That helps for through line when you put them over there.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Say paternal or maternal or both sides.
Go ahead, Diane.
Well, I thought I was gonna say it helps for through line if you put the paternal and maternal
as much as you know together. I work on that sometimes
No, would you just
10 to
click on
15
it,
minutes
Jerry?
a day.
Would you just click on it? See what we're talking about? So you go over and put paternal for him
Okay.
and save. So he's not unassigned no more.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that's how you do the unassigned.
If you know what
Okay.
side they on, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that information.
You're welcome.
So that's my reach out text message. And what we do, Fanny, that's an example. You just saw that from Diane and
Mhm.
from Evelyn. We all help each other.
Right.
And that's what's so cool about it.
You know, I've been trying to clear all of my leaves. I got so many leaves.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's going to be a little tough to do, you know.
yeah. So what I figured that I should go ahead and download or buy the Family Tree Maker, since it gets rid of duplicates, because I do have a lot of duplicates.
Okay. Now, can you see are we back at the
Your
picture?
Magic. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
All right. And so now you mentioned True Lines. That's part of my agenda. I said I was going to talk about them, right? Let me see something about matches. View matches. Now, this is a new part of the program. Do you see this? This says parent 1, parent 2, unassigned. They call it a beta program. And a
Right.
beta program is that they're studying it. And eventually they're going to use it. And right now they're testing it. Can anybody elaborate on that? Can you talk a little bit more about that, Diane or Iris?
They're just trying to work the bugs out when they make it in beta. So they try it out on using more experienced people, or people that have been there for a long time, or people that are really working on their trees.
And I used it because I had a cousin who was adopted, and she didn't know. And sometimes that parent 1 can be the father, or it can be the mother. You just got to be able to distinguish between which one is which. Am I right?
Once you assign the maternal and paternal, you don't have to worry about whether it's 1 or 2. That's your objective, to make it maternal and paternal.
Right. And so that being said, here's all the ones that are I know, because I know these people. They're on my father's side, and these are the ones on my mother's side. These are both sides, so that they're real tight, and you see their names: Burnells, Ellisons. And I know some of these unassigned where they're located at. So what I do is I view those batches and I put them where they go.
And then if you assign them maternal and paternal, that helps.
Yes. And then here's what Ancestry said. You and your matches have identical segments of DNA, likely passed down from common ancestors. By comparing these segments, we can split your matches into 2 sides. 9 out of 10 people, more than 90% accurate. 1 out of 10 people, less than 95% accurate. Some of our labels may be wrong, but we're hard at work improving our accuracy. To change the label for a match, click on the match and click edit.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening in Ancestry. Now, here's one thing I wanted to share with you too. Here it is, your DNA matches. I use this one by location. If you pick by location,
Mhm.
you can see where your relatives are in different parts of the different parts of the country.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Here's the Riverside County area, all up in that area. And there's 2 here, Lake Elsinore. And I'm down in San Diego.
Mhm.
And here's 2. This young lady here, I've been able to talk to her. But this is what it does. It shows you your relatives in the LA area. You see all those different areas. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Like in Lakewood, for example. There's 2 people, and they'll show up. Here's Keyshawn Taylor in Long Beach. It's a distant relative.
Mhm.
The program, that's what it does for you. And so some of you who are talking to me, because we're all across the country. And so I'll go in, I can zero in, and I can go up real close and see, like in Richmond, this person here, he's distant, but it's a map that you can find out where your relatives are by location. You see them all?
Wow. Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's,
Arkansas. Yeah, it is.
yeah, like right here, here's 3, here's one person.
Mhm.
Pick on them. Oh, look at that. Fort Dorsey. That's also Dallas. It's called Dallas Dallas Township.
Mm.
That's right down there. And here's in Little Rock. There's 2 that are there. This person and that person.
Click on BH.
Which one?
BH. Click on that, please.
Okay.
Can you open it up so we can see who that is? Because
Right.
I'm
Betty Harrell.
Betty.
Betty Ho.
Okay. Okay. You can go back out now. It's not the one I thought it was, but I'm gonna look and see if I have her too. Okay.
But the catch-22 to that, you see how she asked me that?
Mhm.
She is a 4 through 6 on my father's side. So it didn't.
And I'm from Little Rock.
Yeah. And she's been active. See, today she's been on. She started in 2021. And whenever you have different DNA centromeres across more than 1 segments, 2 segments, 3 segments, and they go all the way up, they are definitely your relative. You see, so that's where I can do. Like, I don't know if I have. I don't think I've had. I sent a message to her. So what I do is send a message. I haven't sent a message to her, so let me move this up here. And I'll click here. Remember, I had that cut and paste, right?
Mhm.
Bingo. And then
Okay.
that's the message. And I'll change, her name is Betty. So I'll come up here, cousin Betty. And, she's like about this. I know how many centimorgans, it was like 30 something, but I just do for now 30 across.
Hey, Jerry, before
Yes,
you send it,
go ahead.
it still
Who do
says
you
your
want to
mother's
message?
side.
Go ahead, Iris.
He died in your contacts. To who?
Did you hear me? There you go. You got it.
What's that?
You changed it already.
The father's side?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I do. Those are the 2 things that I do. I change the segments, the name, those 3 things, and then bingo. I'm going fishing.
Great. That's
You
great.
see?
Yep.
So it took a while to think about how my reach out bait message, but once you have it, you can use it for anyone.
Okay, I have a question, Jerry. In your communication, you said the meeting we hold on the first and the third Sunday.
Yes.
Do you have two different groups, or can we join both of them? Is the agenda the same?
It's just, it changes based off of one thing that's very important is in order to keep participation, you want to have agenda so people know what you're gonna look forward to. And so
Right.
like that's why I'm sharing some of my tools. And Iris in like about 5 minutes, I'm gonna ask her. She's gonna do a presentation for us on this DNA painter. But I wanted to show you some of the tools that can help some of the, some of the people that I use that are very, very effective.
No, what I'm asking is, do you have the same agenda on the first
Oh
and the
no,
third?
no,
Okay,
they
so
change.
if I came in on the first and the third Sundays, then it would be different.
It's different because like different people step up and we might be talking about reparations this next week because I just attended this reparations meeting in Sacramento last week via live stream, and I got some up to date information. So we might be talking about that because we're going to have to be prepared for this reparations that's coming down for California. So
Right.
we're going to need everybody has relatives that live in California, and you're going to need to know what they're debating on and what their proposals are. So when they actually implement it, we'll be prepared. We'll be ahead. Ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you. For those who I sent my meeting invitation, did you see the reports that I gave you? The the reports that I sent out, the reports that were a PDF file. Did you get a chance to look at those reports?
I did not. I printed them out, but have not had a chance to actually read them,
Okay.
but I did print them out.
Okay. So that's an example
Mhm.
of information that when you have it, share it because tomorrow's not promised for me.
Right.
And so as soon as I get information, I put it in the format that I can share it. And
Here it is. All these pages.
yes,
Good information.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's something that you never knew, but
Mhm.
I did the research, and Francis Haywood did with my mentor and Diane here. Uh, they 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 set the tone, and then I gleaned some of their information, and then I added some of mine. So we're going to talk about that program, uh, in a minute. But I just want to show you one more about the True Makers, family True
That's your
Makers,
last.
True Lines, yeah,
Okay.
True Lines. Okay, on the True Lines here, these are my. You have to build a tree. You have to build a tree, and at least how many generations? Like 3 generations or 4 generations
Mm-hmm.
on your tree. Here's my father, my mother, and other people. They have trees and they have information, but the program has the DNA. So this is a way that you can find out some people who are related to you in this big database. If you want to do, if you want to glean some information and reach out to someone and give them some more information on how you're related to them, you can use this True Line program. But you got to understand, there is some. It's not all totally reliable because some of the people. It's only as reliable as the information is put on. Could you elaborate, Diane?
Yeah, if I have put in people that I thought were the right people, and then other people copy that information down on their tree. So when I found out the correct information, I put the correct information in. But that old information will not change. I've tried to get people to change it, and some of them don't respond. And you can start out like with a Jerry Jones, and he's black, and then next thing you know, you're picking up another census or whatever, and the person is white, and they'll throw that family off into another direction. So people have wrong information, and that wrong information can compromise what you find here.
Okay.
So the question is, so when you put that information in there, so that does that mean that we need to be more thorough about what we're doing, or I mean,
Yes.
Thorough about what you're doing and thorough about what you're copying off of other people's trees, because I found a
okay,
lot of it wrong.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
So
So now,
let me go a little deeper in.
oh, go ahead, Jerry.
So here's my father, Kenneth Moss, and my mother, Joyce Lois Maxine Gilden. Now here's my 4 grandparents. When I give presentations on DNA and for this reparations, I did a couple of them at different locations. One at the actual California uh, California Reparations Task Force. That was in January. That was to the group and to all the people who were there because they were here in San Diego, and I got a chance to give my presentation live there. But I had did it earlier in September in San Diego downtown at the library. So to a group, over 100 people, plus it was live stream. But one of the first things I asked, how many of you can name your 4 grandparents?
Saying something.
And so what happens statistically, there's only about 50% of the people who can name their 4 grandparents. So that being said, that's one reason why with this DNA, we're able to fill in those particular gaps. And the other question I asked everyone, the first question I asked them, how many of you have taken the DNA test under any platforms? Well, you might get 30, 40%. I asked them, how many of you want to take the test? And a lot of hands go up. And then I give away a kit or 2 or 3.
Okay.
and but you know this is what I do. And so that being said, don't I, Elizabeth? Elizabeth? Oh, she just checked out. But anyway, what happens is, so with that being said, that's why it's important for us to gather the information, get these kits, and get some other people who know about the program and have them help you. So let me go. Now, let me just show you this here DNA, how it helps you. Here's my four grandparents. The 2 on my mother's side, these are on my mother's side are on the right, and my father's side are on the left. And then I'm able to, now my great grandparents, my great grandparents. So I have those. With True Lines, what's so cool about it, you just pick on it like this, and look what it says. There's 27 DNA matches between 8 Central Morgans and 3,500. So I'll pick right there. And look what this program's going to do for you. It's doing this little calculations. Bingo. What it'll do is it brings out these people, and from City and Thomas, here's my grandfather David, and here's my dad, here I am. But this is a sister, Josephine. There's 4 DNA matches. And here's one, SM. here's Eric Davis, Noel, even though they're 8th century Morgans, see that true line has went through and has shown these people. You see? And so when this is a third cousin, I contacted her and told her we was relatives. You know what she did? I want to talk to my mother. She talked to her mother, come to find out her mother knew about us, and she was in Los Angeles, came to visit us with my son in Long Beach. She was part of the family, the family. So you never know who you're going to meet when you're going to meet them. But this is what True Line does. And then over on the other side, here she is, and here's an SM. So that's another cousin. So you see how helpful it is to have that program?
You know what? I've used it, the through line, but I didn't know I could use it to the extent that you just explained. And I'm grateful for that.
Now
Yes.
that true line is that built into the ancestry?
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
it's already built in.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Please comment on that, Diane, a little bit more.
What I do with through lines, when I go and check and find those people, then if I look for those people in my matches and see how much of their tree they have. So I use that to link them to my tree. So as a result, I probably have maybe 150 or 200 links to my tree from my matches using through lines and then comparing trees and location.
Okay.
And
Can I say something?
Go
real
ahead.
quick? Okay, True Line.
We want to see your face, cousin. Come on up, something. Let me see that beautiful face of yours.
We
Come
had a
on,
family.
up some more. Hollywood.
We had a family
Hollywood.
reunion one time, and on the Boulder side, they didn't know his wife's name, but eventually it showed up on True Line. So now we know who she is.
And I remember when I first met Eddie, we were doing research, and I had, it was a beta program. Again, Ancestry starts out, it's a beta program. And those who've been more experienced, they get a chance to see what's coming out. And I had a chance to get out to see the program first before Eddie got to it. And I was able to show him, hey, because he was doing it laborious way. I said, come here, Eddie, let me show you this. Boom, 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 boom. He said, wow, man, that really simplifies the process. So sometimes when you're doing your research, go to the true lines, and then you can actually talk to a DNA relative. You can at least send your reach out bait message to that true line relative, and you know where they're related on your side of the family. Okay, I want to let Iris come in with a presentation, and then at the end I'll do family tree maker. But Iris, are you prepared to do family tree what is it called, painter DNA or
DNA painter?
Yes.
Yes.
Iris,
Before I do that though, I was gonna let Diane talk about the
location on Ancestry.
On Ancestry.
Okay, go right here, Diane. And
okay, could you share my screen?
You're available.
Okay, take all that. Let's see that. Okay, so let me open up. Over there. See, I always have that problem when I'm trying to open. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to share my screen. I am going to share. Got to open it up.
How we doing, Larry?
I'm doing good. Very good information you guys recovered.
Okay,
it's just very exciting knowing that I got relatives all over the place now. San Diego, down the street from me.
Yeah, and Diane, she's in Fontana.
Oh, really?
I'm in Fontana, and I'm getting ready to show location. I got to come out of there and come back in, leave and come back. I don't want to.
I have quite a few friends out there in Fontana.
Yeah. How's it going, cuz? Wandale?
I'm doing good, Jerry. This is definitely informative, brother.
Okay, so now Jerry was showing the actual location of where the matches are. When you know where your relatives were enslaved, that can help you with your matches. Why I'm having such a hard time getting out here.
You're excited. You're excited.
Yeah, I always end up, I
Mhm.
don't have no, okay, let me back up out of here.
Mhm.
I'm going into Ancestry. You see me going in, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I am going to,
Mhm.
I'm trying to blow all of this up.
You're right there.
It's
Yeah.
not blowing it up. But anyway,
We can
let
see
me
it pretty
go
good.
in. Okay, go to tree. I don't want to go to tree. I want to go to matches. So I'm trying to get there. So let me see what, okay, DNA. There we go. There we go, DNA. I'm going to go to my DNA matches. I know that my ancestors on my mother's side were enslaved in Darlington, South Carolina. Okay, so now I'm going to do a search for people that live in Darlington County, South Carolina. When I do that, first thing that happens, my Aunt Maisie disappears. And so now, you see that little green thingy right here by the person? That's
Right.
where I made a connection. Okay, so these are all my close family right there. But when I go past there,
Slow down. Slow
well,
down. You're
I
flying.
don't even know all that.
You in the track meet.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. How about that? I'm
Yeah.
still working on Tanya Wynn. I have her family, but what I'm going to do is click on Rosetta. Okay, so Rosetta shows up here. And so I want to view her in my tree. Click there. And then this is my tree where I have added her. Okay, so I have a lot of those little blue things on here because there's Rosetta right there. And Rosetta is married to F.S. Davis. And see down here, their child, F.S. Jr. F.S.
Yes.
Jr. is my cousin also. They've taken the DNA test. So when you find out the people that are connected to you, then put them in your tree and show a link. Make sure you know the location where a large group of people live. I think like for you, Jerry, I would put in Arkansas, probably Nevada County, Arkansas, and then that group out in Georgia that was under Rhoda Moss. There was the Free People. Whoever goes directly back to them, I would put that location in, and you would be able to solve a lot of your matches. And again, that goes back to where I had right here. I was going to do a search. And how did I search? I searched by the location. And so once I
Yes.
searched by location, there's all these people. They're from more than one branch of my family where different ones married within the location. I haven't figured Steve out. Margaret Jackson Harris, still working on Jasmine. Christian is my second cousin's daughter. Okay, this is another family member from that area. I work with her all the time. This is from my mother's section, Willie Jeffries, and he's actually related to me on two sides of the family. Judy Crane. Now, the thing about Judy Crane is our family's last name is Robinson. And when my cousin did the Y-DNA test, we found out that Cornelius Robinson's father was not a Robinson, but a Dalrymple. And Judy is actually Judy Dalrymple, and she married a Crane. And so she has been helpful with us in helping figure out the Dalrymple side of the family. And so our mystery now is the Robinson side of the family. But anyway, let me continue to go down. You keep going through, methodically working. There's the FBS that I was talking about. Are you guys doing this, connecting people to your tree? And it could be just a branch. It doesn't have to be connected to your actual tree, but in the same location. as your main tree, because you will eventually be able to connect those.
So can we have a thing on that maybe next week or one of
Okay.
the on how to connect to the tree?
Okay, though. So let me get out of here.
Wait,
that-
Diane, wait.
Okay.
That'd be the third. That'd be the third Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Diane, did you
Yes.
ever put Georgetown in that first box?
Georgetown? No, I
Mhm.
didn't.
Can you try that, please? Not in the location box, but
Okay.
in the name box. You could take Darlington County out.
Oh, take Darlington County out, just South Carolina. And
Take
then in
all
the
of that
name,
out. Take all of the
all
bottom.
of it, okay.
Yep.
And then put
Georgia.
Georgetown
Georgetown
and first name?
Yep.
I just want to get.
And click search and let's.
I just want to. I just want to tell you something that.
Okay.
Iris,
Yes.
tell the members what this is all about
Okay. So
first before you show us this exercise or ask somebody else or you show us. Please.
Yes. Okay. So I was connected to a match named Tanya Jones. Tanya is related to Eddie and probably to Jerry on the Moss side somehow. She is in Los Angeles. Her family moved from Louisiana to California. And she was talking to someone who is one of her matches, and they belong to a group that meets every Thursday. And these are people who are part of the enslaved people sold by Georgetown University Jesuits down to plantations in Louisiana.
Okay, I remember you talking about that. Okay.
Yes.
Wasn't there a special about that or something in the
Yes.
news about it? Yeah.
Yes, there was. And so the thing that I did was I talked to Tanya about it, and she says, well, you need to put in the name Georgetown in your matches. So I did that, and I found out that I'm connected to someone who is descended from that sale. And
Okay.
so we meet every Thursday, and we do research on trying to connect all of the families.
That's great.
Yes, and so we're using different tools to go through this. A lot of what Jerry has been telling you is, the very basics of categorizing your matches, really looking at locations of where your matches are, looking for common names and that sort of thing. With this particular group, they've been studying this for quite some time. So there's an entire website dedicated to those descendants and all of the family names and their family trees. So
What's the website? Do you have the?
yes, let me put that. Do y'all know how to use the chat in Zoom or not yet?
Yeah, we've been using the chat.
Okay,
We haven't had breakout rooms, but somebody coming in?
Yes, that's Miranda. So, could you tell them what the purpose is?
So the purpose is to identify those people that were sold and separated. They had families from Maryland. Some of them stayed in Maryland and some of them were sold down to those plantations in Louisiana. And they're trying to get reparations and to make sure that the Jesuits and the Catholic Church and Georgetown acknowledge what was done to clean up the cemetery where a lot of those people are buried, and to basically be held accountable for what was done. So I'm going to put that in the chat, put the website in the chat for everyone so that y'all can take a look, and then you can see if there are any people, any names or any matches that you may have to those locations.
But there are surnames on that site that we
Yes.
can look at. Okay.
And family trees as well.
Okay.
So there's been extensive research done, but it is ongoing because they haven't identified all of the families yet.
Okay.
And one of the things that you may discover in your research is your last name may not be your last name at all. Before my family was emancipated, our last name was Harper. And after emancipation, my great-grandfather chose the last name Grant. His uncle chose the last name Fulmore. And then let's see, so his father chose Grant, his uncle chose Fulmore, or his grandfather chose Fulmore, another uncle chose Glover, and someone else chose Brackens. So there are all these different family last names that have nothing to do with the enslaver, right? So you may or may not be able to figure that out, but this is part of, growing in that way and determining what the quote unquote real last name could be.
Well, go ahead, Diane, put yours down here, please.
Oh, you want mine back on there again?
Yeah, you're still up.
I was done. El Finito.
I can show you, Jerry.
Okay, go ahead.
right.
Diane?
Let me unstop sharing. Yeah, you do it. There you go.
Okay, so let's see. So can you see this screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the website. And when you go, let me move this out of the way a little
I
bit.
think I've seen that title before.
Yes. So you click here and then it shows you all the last names. You can see there's Adams, Barnes, Blacklock, Brown, Butler, Campbell, Ford, Goff, Greenleaf, Hawkins, Harrison, Harris, Mahoney, Merrick, Plowden, Hill, Queen, Scott, Ware, Winderry, Yorkshire. And when you click on someone, like say we'll click on the Goff family. And then it shows you the family name. Regis Goff was born in 1805 and died in 1888. He spent his entire life on a plantation in St. Inigo's, Maryland. So he's part of the family that stayed in Maryland. And then there's a link to go to his family tree. Somewhere in here, you have to put the name in order to find that family. And I have not joined this yet. I feel like I'm pretty overwhelmed right now, but here's his family sheet. And it gives you from 1805 all the way down to, let's see, 1861, and it lists all the children that they had. And then there are all the citations right down here at the bottom.
So does this cost anything
No, this
to
is
be a
free.
member?
Nope,
Mm-hmm.
it's free. I just
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm starting to get like I have so many tools. I feel like I got to just focus on one thing and finish that and then go to the next thing.
Yes, cousin, yes.
So, okay. So what I want to show you here is part of the reason I'm showing you this is because I went into Elizabeth's matches. And like I had Diane do that where she put Georgetown in the matches and nothing came up. Well, I did the same thing for Elizabeth. Nothing came up. However, this is one of her matches. So let me go back to Elizabeth. Okay, so this is a 4th to 6th cousin on her paternal side. She does have a tree, which is pretty decent. And she's from Maryland. So when I click on her tree, what do I see? The Goff last name.
Wow.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I
my.
click on this Goff, it goes back to where? Maryland.
Maryland.
Got
Right?
it.
So
Mhm.
just because you don't have a match in there doesn't mean you don't come from this community.
Right.
And you can see Alexandra Goff married Charlotte Butler, also born in Maryland.
Wow.
So what I need to do next is confirm if this is one of those Goffs. Just to see. And the fact that some of y'all have very strong Louisiana roots, or maybe you have Louisiana roots and don't even know you have them. This is kind of what we're doing, is working as a group to pull together everyone's matches and show the DNA trail to match the paper trail if we can. So we're as a group, we're trying to use DNA Painter to help with some of this stuff. Okay, so let me show you DNA Painter. And I've got Elizabeth, oh, I've got mine up. First of all, this is a free site that has a number of tools. There are ancestral trees, tools called What Are the Odds, which helps you with some unknown relatives to figure out how you match. And then there's a chromosome mapping, which also can help you cluster your matches to maybe identify some of those unidentified people. I paid for a membership for the year. It's $55. And what that does, if you pay, is it allows you to do multiple chromosome maps instead of just one free one. So I'm going to show you Elizabeth's, if that's okay, Elizabeth.
That's fine.
Okay. So what I did, first of all, is Elizabeth is in GEDmatch. I'm not sure how many of y'all are in GEDmatch, but I highly recommend it. Who is this? This is Elizabeth. Oh, okay, somebody else.
Excuse me,
That's
Yeah.
fine.
while we're here, is there any, is everybody online, are they familiar with GEDmatch?
I'm
No,
not.
I'm not.
Okay, who's
No.
not?
I'm not.
Fanny. I'm not.
Okay, could you
Okay.
explain that to her
Yes.
briefly?
So GEDmatch is a free website that has a lot of tools to help you identify different things using your DNA. There's a free membership, and then there's a tier 1 membership that has more tools that you can use. So what you can do is you download your raw DNA from 23andMe, MyHeritage, Ancestry, Family Tree DNA, any of the DNA websites that you're on. You can upload your raw DNA here to give you more details. And there are relationship probability tools. There's a comparison for you to see how you match one-on-one with people, and then also how just how many matches you have, so that it's pulling from all the websites. So if you're on Ancestry and somebody else is on 23andMe and you're both on GEDmatch, then you'll be able to find each other, versus just being on Ancestry and not on 23andMe, where you don't know that the other one exists. So this is a tool that's very helpful for that. And the way that
Excuse me, I want to add to it, Iris. Fanny, I just looked at a special, but this GEDmatch program, it's they're very private, and when you use that program, they ask for, like, do you want to keep your DNA information private, or do you want to share it with other agencies? Because some people have shared it with the police authorities, law enforcement. And what happened is, through the early 70s, there was a major challenge in California, where there were a lot of killings. There was a major challenge in California, where a lot of murders and killings.
Oh, he
So Northern California, and then it migrated down to Southern California. And somebody at that time, in the early 70s, they decided to keep the DNA records. They never knew DNA wasn't available, all these programs. And so what happened is 70s, 80s, 90s, 30 years later, here we are with DNA. And so what they were able to do, they were able to upload the DNA from this Golden State Killer to GEDmatch. And this GEDmatch program reached out, and then they used genetics, and it located a distant relative of this particular killer. And what happened is they went through a process of elimination, and they stopped. They watched this guy and watched him drink and eat somewhere, got his samples, and to make a long story short, through DNA and through GEDmatch, they located Golden State Killer.
I remember
Wow.
that too.
I
I remember that.
I kind of remember it
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, so once that happened, a lot of people, that's how technology, how it's grown. And so what happened is people now, they sort of, you don't want to just throw your information all over. They're asked, do you want to share it or not? And some people got spooked by that because they didn't want their DNA be on this platform, and one of their relatives end up getting arrested.
Mhm.
This is
If
Right,
mine is a murderer, he needs to get arrested.
exactly.
Right.
You'll see right here.
correct.
These-
So I just wanted to share that with you. But we use it as a very, very helpful tool.
That's
Yeah,
how they caught the Grim Sleeper.
yep.
They caught the Grim Sleeper just like that. They never knew him, but they found his son's DNA linked him. And
Mhm.
that guy was right down the street from me within about 3 miles. Now, if you live, he's on the same street that one of my friends lived on.
Wasn't that the guy with the guy who collected trash? I think that's the way they called him too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Iris, go ahead.
Okay,
Wow.
so you can
Thank you,
see I've
Iris.
got, you're welcome. I've got a few that are not available to the police, and then I've got 4 that are open. These 2 are deceased individuals. This is myself, and this is my cousin Charles. And the reason these are open is because someone who works for CC Moore, who's the genetic genealogist that works for Henry Louis Gates, contacted me about a missing person or an unidentified person who was deceased, and they're trying to reunite them with their family. And they match, I thought they would match my whole family, but it's only on Charles's side. So they asked me to leave these open while they do their research. And I'm allowing them to do that because it's simply to identify someone who is lost to their family.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's good.
Okay,
Yes.
that's understandable.
Yes. So, and I do believe if someone is a murderer, they need to go to jail. So,
Yes. No
Or
matter what it is.
worse.
yes, or worse, exactly. Okay, so we've got several different tools here, and the thing that we use for DNA Painter is called the auto segment. So what it will do is if you put your kit number in here, and I'm going to do Elizabeth's, and I've done this before.
Where do you get the kit number from?
You have to register on GEDmatch, and they generate a kit number for you once your DNA
Okay.
has been processed, and it takes about 24 hours to process. So 655 9384. Okay. So what I did was you can go from 100 kits up to 3,000 or 5,000 kits to compare with. And I believe I went up to maybe 2,000 kits for Elizabeth. And the threshold for the match would be 500 centimorgans down to 10 centimorgans, which would be about fourth to sixth cousins, all the way down to fifth to eighth cousins. And the reason I did this is because when you have close cousins, you know how you're connected to them.
Yeah.
Right? So this will generate a spreadsheet, which ends up being in a file. Let me show you how it comes out.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth?
Yes.
Please,
Uh-huh.
please mute your, please.
Oh,
mute.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so it comes out in a file like this. It's a CSV file. Let me move this. Sorry. Resume share.
Hi, Miranda.
Okay, so it saves in a CSV file, and then this is what it looks like when you open it. It'll show you the gender of the person, their email, how many segments you share with them, and which chromosome you share with them, where it starts and where it ends. And there's quite a few people here. Some of them you'll be able to reach out to through email. That's another nice thing, is you can email them to let them know how you're connected, just like you would with Ancestry. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over to DNA Painter, move this out of the way. Put this down here. Okay, so once you get that file, you'll come over here and you will upload it by using this import segment data tool. You can use 23andMe, like I said. You could use Family Tree DNA. You can use GEDmatch, Ancestry, 23andMe. And initially you'll get a blank slate. Like this would be completely empty, but I've already added her matches in here. And then what you do with those matches is you color them, you paint them. So all of the ones that come over in GEDmatch, it'll show you their names here. And it shows you which chromosome you're matching on. Let me see if I can put the name on the segment. Okay. So you can see here, her sister Shirley matches on chromosome 1. There's Patricia's your sister too, right?
No, she's my aunt.
Your aunt. Okay. And then different cousins on all of the chromosomes. So it moves. They move from one side to the other. And each one is going to be different. So what you can do with this tool is, so here's Gabriel.
Yeah.
We know that this is her first cousin on her paternal side. So when you click on that, it'll show you all of the people that you share in common with that person. And then you can categorize them. It separates your matches for you. So do you recognize anybody besides Shirley and Patricia?
And Patricia.
Sharon
Wilson, that's her mother and my mother were cousins.
Okay. So then you know this is your maternal line.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So what you can do is you can edit the match. And it shows here all of the names. Well, Anybody
So-
that here, go ahead.
So all of these are on my maternal side?
Yes.
Excuse me, can I input?
Sure.
Like I was told this big area right here is your cluster,
Mm-hmm.
your biggest
Right
cluster.
here.
Well, yeah, that's your biggest cluster.
Mm-hmm. And there is another tool. Let me see. I think we just did this in DNA Painter.
Mm.
Oh no, it was in GEDmatch that we did it.
Oh, okay.
It does the auto clustering for you.
That was last week.
Yes. Did we do? I don't know if we did that on Eddie's call.
Yeah, we did.
We
Working
did it.
there. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me go back to Elizabeth. Okay. So what you're supposed to do is separate these along the lines of whichever ancestor you know these particular matches belong to. And then it can help you group the unknown and potentially help you find unknown ancestors by painting this and putting everybody in a category.
Okay.
So,
Can you go over to the unknown, the yellow?
mm-hmm.
Just see what the unknown looks like.
So this is Eddie, and we don't know quite how Eddie matches or where they fall in line. Right,
Mhm.
Elizabeth? But we can see here it's on chromosome 4. And it's overlapping right here. So the thing to do is to identify whoever these people are.
Hey, son.
What's going on?
Oh, a trip to.
Oh, nothing. Shoot,
So it looks like
Oh, shoot.
share
You know what?
from the
Mhm.
Herod
Yeah,
and
yeah.
green
I
line.
guess it's stenosis could be caused it too. But it's not the womb spin, it's like my bed spins real fast.
What?
And
Okay. So, Elizabeth, can you hear me?
I hear you. Yes.
Okay. Do you recognize any of these other names?
Other than Shirley, no.
No. Okay. Well, let's just look at Dwight Williamson.
Okay.
What we can do is check to see, so he's an Ancestry. And we can check to see where he is in your matches. Here he is. So it's a 4th to 6th cousin on your paternal side. And he's got a pretty good tree.
I see.
Mm.
And you know what this looks like to me?
That God's person.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Causey.
Yeah.
South Carolina. Let me go back and look at your shared matches. Okay.
Go get his cell phone.
So
Jason.
these are the people you share. Look.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Oh, and that's on the Kazi side.
Okay. So what you can do now is go back here and then you can edit him as a match, and you can move him to a new group, or we can change this, change the name of the group.
Okay.
So we're going to put him on the paternal side.
Yeah.
And then save the match. You can also add notes.
Okay.
I mean, that is just so ridiculously close.
It is.
You know, sometimes there were typos too. You know, when
Exactly.
people, yeah, so instead of a C, they put in a G.
Mhm.
So I'm going to edit this whole group, and I'm going
Okay.
to change it to Causey.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm gonna leave the room, you guys. It was nice talking with you guys.
Okay,
Hopefully
Larry.
I can see you guys and talk with you guys again soon. Have a blessed one.
You
All right.
You
too.
too.
Larry.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice
thank
meeting you.
Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you. Same here.
Okay, so now that this one is categorized, you can see
Gabriel is everywhere.
Gabriel's everywhere. Yes,
Everywhere.
all over.
Yes.
And so anybody who's matching Dwight, these people most likely are related on your paternal side. And here's Eddie too.
I see.
It's possible that you may end up with double.
Mhm.
Maybe it's on your father's side close in one location and distant in another.
Mhm.
That's possible. Yeah, I mean, you can see right here. Interesting, right?
Yes.
So if we categorize each of these people, then most likely they're going to move to this green
Mhm.
color. But we just need to go and look at each one to see if they have a tree anywhere, and if you can utilize that tree to help you with this. I'm going to go back over here. Okay, so this is Dwight.
Mhm.
Then we can put him in the category as well over here. So do you want to do Causey McGee?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so this is here. All right. And then whenever you look at the shared matches, if they don't have this blue, then you could add them.
Mhm.
Didn't we see somebody with the last name Joyner in Jerry's matches?
Yes,
Was this the same person?
no.
No, okay. So another thing you can do is right here, this says 36 centimorgans across 2 segments.
Mhm.
You can go over to DNA Painter and go to the dashboard. And then there's this shared centimorgan tool. Let's see. And I think it was
Whoa.
36 centimorgans, right? And it'll tell you pretty much it looks like this person is maybe a half third cousin, 2 times removed.
Mhm.
I don't think it's quite this far down, but it highlights all of the potential relationships that you could have with this person.
Wow.
And that painter program previously, that's all it showed was that, and it was free. But
Mhm.
they have developed their program, and that's why you have to pay now, because it has more powerful tools, as you see what she's using. It was a beta program too.
Yes. And then let me see if I can show you the what are the odds tool as well.
I'm glad.
I think I did one for, oh, I think we might have done it in Eddie's account, not in mine.
So Iris, summarize for us the program and the value, and give us an overview. You gave us an example with Elizabeth. Could you please give us an overview, please? Summarize.
Sure. Sure. So the reason behind using this tool is to help you potentially identify those unknown ancestors and the people that we lose prior to emancipation. We don't have names on census records or anything like that. So if you're stuck at a certain point with your research, you can utilize this to help you add more people to your tree and discover those unknown ancestors. Because Ancestry doesn't really give you the tools to be able to do that, especially if someone doesn't have a tree. And this is pulling information from every single test out there, every single company that you may not be on. So if you're on Ancestry, but not on 23andMe, and someone has uploaded to GEDmatch, then you can add their information into your chromosome painter to be able to figure out how you're related to that person. So there are a number of free tools on here. You can create a free account, and then if you want to take it to a higher level, then you would pay the $55 annually, which could be worth it because, spread out over 12 months, $55 is affordable compared to some of the.
Right.
And they also have videos that are really great to explain everything. You can map segments of your DNA ancestors. You can figure out how you're related to someone. You could just do your own direct line. If you don't want to have all your other ancestors on there, you can just do from your parents all the way up, which is also kind of nice to identify. And I really like it. I'm learning a lot. It was a little bit of a learning curve for me to get in here, but
I kept watching those videos over and over and over. And then just started playing around with it. And some of it for me has been really exciting and frustrating at the same time because I have a lot of double cousins. So that messes me up. I feel like it's,
Here, here.
you know,
Thank you so
like,
much, Iris.
yes, of course.
I asked her this week, could she, I put it in the agenda and I would have stumbled through it, but like I had to get the pro and she step up and do it for us. Hey, let's give her a round of applause.
All
Thank
right.
Yay,
you.
thank you so
All
I'm
right.
not
much.
a
Thanks a lot,
pro.
Iris.
I'm not a
Yeah.
pro, but I'm happy to help anybody who has any questions. And you know, the thing I say is just go for it and start watching those videos. And then
Go ahead.
Can we have your email address or phone number or whatever?
yes, let me put it in the chat.
Okay, got it.
Okay, Iris, could you please stop sharing?
Yep.
Okay, everybody, we're winding down. I have one other thing that I want to do, but let's see. We have a couple of new people here. We've got Miranda and how did China? Is it?
Yeah.
Could you introduce yourselves and tell us about yourself briefly?
You gonna ask Mama.
You're starting with you, Miranda, and then
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Miranda Hazard. Let's see. I am part of or a member of the San Diego African American Genealogy Research Group. And that's how I met Jerry. And through the GEDmatch, when we had a presentation, I just happened to have shared my GEDmatch number, and that's how we determined that we are related. We're not sure how, but we're related. And so it's kind of neat to be able to say hi, cousin, when we're on some of these platforms. But that's pretty much about it. I mean, I've been doing research for a number of years now. Been here in San Diego for about over 30 years.
That's what I was gonna ask. So you're in San
Yeah.
Diego too?
Yes, I am.
All right.
But I enjoy it. I love genealogy, really do.
thank you so much for participating. I just wanted to reach out to you, and you came through for me because I appreciate it.
Sure. I feel bad. I read the invitation wrong. I thought it started at 4:30. So I was looking at my watch. I'm like, I have a little bit more time. And then I realized, oh, I should have been on here a long time ago.
That's okay. Okay. How do you pronounce your name? Sinadro? Not
China.
No,
China doll.
okay.
China
Sorry,
doll.
I'm having problems working these buttons. Hi, I'm China.
Hi, China.
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here. I think
China.
last time you guys met, I pushed the buttons and I didn't know how to turn my camera on. So it was like I was eavesdropping like a weirdo. So I was glad to get on here and get my camera and stuff working. I am on here by way of Ancestry.com. My grandmother passed this year will be 3 years, and her mother died at childbirth, but made her adopted. So I could not find any of the family when she died. So that made me do the ancestry thing, and that's how I found Jerry, cousin Jerry, and we are related. I think the three or four cousins removed by my. You get the terminology right. Y'all talk so good with
You're
these
okay, baby. You're doing
terms.
okay.
No, you're good.
You're okay.
It's my father's side, which would be my paternal side through my grandmother. And so that's how I found him, and that's why I'm here. And I'm so excited. Y'all have so much knowledge, and oh my gosh, so here.
What have you found since we've met?
Oh my goodness, that is the problem, right? I be so overwhelmed. It's so much. I found one other cousin, and I've talked to him like sometimes through Facebook, but I haven't got back on there to find none of them. matches or update anything else because it's just like so much information, y'all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard when you first get started. It
It is.
a while.
Yeah.
Well,
And by
you
you not knowing anyone, you really like picking in a barrel of stick pins and hoping you don't get stuck. But it's gonna all work out. Just keep coming, and you're gonna learn more and more and more. I tell you, I get emotional just hearing your story because I know, it's like a chicken with his head cut off. You're running, but you don't know what you're running to or who you're looking for. But
Yeah.
it's there. It's there. It's there. So just don't get discouraged. Don't give up. When it gets to be overwhelming, just take a break and pray and ask God to give you the strength, baby, because He didn't bring you this far to let you fail. I'm crying with you, okay? And you okay. You okay. All right. This is the beginning of the rest of your life to learn who your family is.
Yes,
Right here.
ma'am. You better say it.
Okay. You all
Right.
right. Keep on
Thank
smiling,
you.
that beautiful smile. No
You know,
matter what.
Thank
Just
you.
keep
That's
going.
why I'm here. My birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 42 and blessed to see another year. So
Well,
thank you,
happy
cousin.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Yes,
Thank
most
you.
definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Jerry
Yes.
asked a question earlier about what
Go ahead.
this means for us to be here doing this.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
And what say it again?
What'd you say? What was your question?
You asked a question at the beginning about what it means for us to be here,
Yes.
right? And to me, it's beyond the community. It's the ancestors bringing us together,
Amen.
right? To show us who we are and who
Yes.
we come from and that we are important.
We
Just as
are.
Mhm.
this can be an emotional thing. It can be a lot of work, but for me, it gives me I guess a sense of confidence to know who my ancestors are and what role they played in building this country.
Amen.
So
Amen.
Shirley is not gonna let people know in Florida know what their relatives did.
hello.
We have a Moss family member in Tennessee was the first Black doctor there. She's a Moss.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes.
What's her name? Do you know?
I have to go back and look at it on my tree information because I don't when I saw the information, I started looking it up. I was a part of the Tennessee African American genealogy group when I got that information. I'll make sure I have it for the next meeting.
Okay. Well, Fanny.
Hmm.
Fanny.
Well, my name is Fanny. I am Jerry's second cousin. So I'm probably related to most of you. And I live in Henderson, Nevada. I grew up in Michigan. And in terms of what this means to me, it's everything. And my husband told me this week that it seems as though every time I do research, I get depressed. And I told him, no, I don't get depressed. You know, I think that I'm very I want to know who I am and where I came from. And that's so important to me. And where my mother and my father came from. All of that is very important to all of us. You know, while our history was lost to us, we are intelligent enough to get out there and find it now and know who we really are. And that's all I have to say, Jerry.
Thank you, Cuz. Elizabeth, Iris, and then Diane.
This means a lot to me to be able to get to meet family members that I knew nothing of and to keep me looking and searching, even if I don't know who they are. I'm learning about them. So each time I come on, I learn more and more, and I meet more people, and it's exciting to be able to have this format because there, we have so many people in our contacts and everything, but when you reach out to them, some may respond and some may not, but don't let that stop you. Keep going. So I'm thankful for Jerry reaching out to me. I'm thankful for meeting everyone. I really truly am. And China Doll, I tell you, for me, I pretty much, when I found out what I found out, it was like a kick in my stomach. I was hurting. It hurt so bad. I didn't know what to do, but I laid in my bed and I cried like a baby because I'm like, Lord, what? But at the end, he told me, I didn't have to worry about anything because he already knew from the beginning, but I have to trust him in the process of everything. Keep trusting him. Okay. Keep trusting him. He got you.
Thank you. Iris and then Diane, please, and then Wandale.
Well, I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate being able to speak. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to help.
Diane?
Same here. I want to know as much as I can to pass it on to the rest of my family. And I'm hoping everybody else is working on theirs. The more information you have that helps us do what we're doing.
And with Diane, what she did is she had her uncle Luther take a DNA test, and him and I matched. And so now I know other relatives because of her reaching out, and since then he has passed away. But that's another reason why we have to be proactive while we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see our group, we share our information. So don't feel that you can't ask questions, or definitely participate. It makes us, it makes it worthwhile for us. And you're very much appreciated. Cousin Wandale.
Yeah, let me say this right here. I'm just going to say that through DNA, it has given us all a profile, but also given us numbers to identify each other with. And it goes to show you how powerful God is, because he's given everybody their own signature. And this is ours.
Amen.
And I mean, how else can it be explained? Because all blood is red, but when you break it all down, it identifies everybody and everybody's family. And that's what you just can't see looking at the color. But when they broke it down to be able to dissect the blood and give us a DNA sample, it puts us all together. It's amazing.
It sure has. And one of my purposes, Iris, was to connect with living DNA relatives.
Right.
And that's one of my main priorities. And I've met a number of them. What I didn't know and what I know now, by people sharing, sharing their stories, seeing how we're connected. But I also want you to know, I showed you the technique that I used to reach out to these relatives. I know they're my relatives.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I gotta figure out any way I can, and then and then we got something to work with. I don't know exactly how, but I reach out to them, and some people respond, some don't. But that's how it is. That's how it is fishing. But it don't stop me from going.
That's right. That's right.
Jerry,
Yes. Go ahead.
I photoed your fishing message. I took a photo of it.
That's great.
From the screen. I'll change it some, but
Yeah.
And
it'll be a good start.
Yeah, make your own. Figure out, but use mine as a format, because I'm gonna be sending this out.
Exactly.
Use it as a format. Put your own words in, and just start with that.
Yes.
And then with these pictures, you start connecting with them, and then you might find somebody, you might find, you know, a yellowtail. The
Mhm.
yellowtail, you might find a bluefin tuna. Then you might get a small whale. But then again, you might get the big one.
Big
Mm.
one.
Yeah, I look
Yeah.
for the big one too.
You got to
Yeah.
be ready now. You got to be ready.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you get one that one so damn tough you can't bring him in.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I got some like that you know, I got some that are interracial, some that are they show up 900 centimorgans, and I know they're like real close to me, my siblings, one of their grandkids or something like that, and they pop up. And then when I reach out to them, they don't answer. You see, but
Uh-huh.
they're out here. And Diane helped me. She took my DNA and sent it up on my heritage. And there's another one. Hey Jerry, you had somebody 900 centimorgans close to you.
Mhm.
And I got a cousin that she's like the CIA. All I need is a name, and I just send that name to her, and she'll give me all the information on that person.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
Oh,
then,
Ah.
but you,
let's see.
but you still got to be delicate with how you use it.
Okay.
Okay.
So just
Uh,
in summary, the agenda for is there anything in particular for agenda for the next meeting on the third Sunday? When is the third Sunday? What date is that?
that would be 1, 3, the 16th.
Okay, the third Sunday,
Yeah,
2 o'clock West Coast time. Any
16th.
16th, right?
Uh-huh.
Anything particular, Diane? Are you scheduled to do something then? A presentation? Did y'all agree to that? Or
You mean to finish up the location, how you can build your tree, going through location and finding your matches,
correct?
and you'll see common names, and that'll help you put it together.
Okay. Iris, are you available to do a presentation of your
I think
choice?
so, as long as it's not the same time as Eddie's meeting.
No,
Then
mine is the
yours are
first.
opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Let me know what it is because I'm gonna be putting out the invitation what the agenda is gonna be.
Okay, maybe we can
And
do the auto segment cluster on GEDmatch.
okay, you're gonna do a GEDmatch, and I'm gonna follow up with the family tree maker some more on that, and a couple other items because you know I just wanted to show you some tools that were right in front of you. They were simple that you can use. You know what I mean? I want you to be able to step. I don't want to take some of our newer members. I don't want to just overwhelm them. I want to give them some tools that they can use that are powerful.
Right.
So are we going to explore the reparations at the next meeting?
Yeah, I'll give a presentation on that.
Okay.
I can tell you now. I can tell you now something about it because I just attended these meetings. One of the first things they discussed some of the main things is we had some financial people come in and giving us some how are they going to pay for it? How are they going to get the money? And they don't want to give a number yet. See, because now the press, the right wingers are going crazy about it. You're going to start hearing more of it in the news. So they're coming close to putting a dollar amount for the cash portion of it, but it has a number of items that they're going to have proposed that they're going to be using. Okay, Iris.
Thank you.
They have a number of items that they're going to be using. But what they did decide on the cash portion is the cash portion is going to go first to the elders. The elders are going to get theirs first.
You like us?
Yes, and then they'll break it down.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you, they did decide on that, but they still haven't said no numbers or anything. That, but you know, it's only right. You know, we've endured and seen, and you know, most of it, and for schooling and all that, you know, that's for you know our kids and grandkids. But for the elders, they're going to get the cash first. So I will say that, Fanny.
Okay, so that's in California.
Yeah, and we have more information about Nashville. But let me tell you about that, California. I don't know anybody who doesn't have relatives in California. And so we have to be the ones that are going to have to help them, help our family. And,
Mhm.
and you'll be surprised at how much of our you have relatives that's going to be calling on you. That piece of paper that you have right there, that I sent you that the Brunel's PDF
Right.
generation chart right there.
Mhm.
That's a ticket for that they can submit. And the other thing too, uh, they voted to have a uh, California American Freedmen's Bureau agency,
Okay.
and that there was a lot of talk about that. It's called California Americans Freedom Agency. It's an agency, and they don't want to duplicate the services that people already have, but there's some services that Black people aren't getting. They want that to come under that agency, and one of them is genetics, genetics, the DNA, and they want to have a agency that we can go to who will distribute the funds, that a bank, the banking system, a trust. You're going to have trust for people. You can go through how do you qualify for the educations for your kids. So they're coming down to they're coming down. But all these proposals is a wish list, but it has to be submitted to the legislature here in another couple of months.
Okay. I know I heard that on the news that San Francisco, the proposal is 5 million per person. That's what I heard. And they don't exactly know how they're going to pay for it, but the city council is considering it
Well,
in
that's
San Francisco.
well, what's
If they
happened
can
this
send all that money to Ukraine, they could pay us.
Really?
Yes, they could pay
For
us.
real.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
again, but again, here's my there's two of them. I try not to get too political because I'm really focusing on qualifications and how we qualify. And I stay in that lane because it's getting nasty out there. Diane, you know how you can get attacked when you're on social media.
Oh yeah, and so we must be articulate and sensitive to the fact that other people have an opinion too. We don't want it to get ghetto. But I
Yeah,
really don't. I don't want the money to go into the hands of drug dealers to be
Come
buying
on.
drugs and start their
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are all those questions and concerns. That's what's happening, and what you can do is go to uh, California Reparations Task Force webpage, and it has all the previous meetings, and they're like 7 to 8 hours each meeting. You just click on them, and then you can just listen to what they go through, what they've done. And I was on the one for January 27th and 28th, one of the first speakers.
Mhm.
Public comments, public comments.
It would be nice if families or groups could get together and build businesses that would have a greater impact than each person getting whatever and then them not really being able to do anything with it.
And another item, the cousin Fanny, California is going to be closing 4 prisons, and what the task force is asking for is land, and they want to
Mhm.
convert that land into something, for people. And so that's something that they're considering too, because we per population and to the amount of people who are incarcerated is, it's not, it's not equitable at all. So they are taking action on that. So just stay tuned and get prepared. But the main thing that we have to do is get our DNA together, get organized, get your paperwork. So when it comes time to submit this paperwork, we have it correct. Okay,
Okay.
that's what we do. That's what we're working on.
Oh, okay. And that's one of that's one of the things that I considered when I started this. I mean, if you can't prove it, they're not gonna give you anything. You're not gonna get, if you can't prove it to the extent where you can go back to your slave ancestors, you're not gonna get anything.
Well,
So,
the major, that's interesting that you said that. One of the major decisions that they made, it's getting tougher for them to make decisions too. You ought to see them. They're squirming, or because now they're being flushed out for answers. We want this, we want this. And when the speakers, ooh, they're hard, they're hard. And now, it's like they're smelling blood. They're like sharks. And so they want answers. And but one of the things that they did decide, the task force, is in order to qualify for any type, you have to be able to document that your ancestors were enslaved somewhere in the United States before 1900. Before 1900, if you can document that your ancestors were enslaved, you live in California, they call that the lineage base. They want to go lineage base, and and task force did it 5-4 is what they voted for. So that's the main thing. And then the next thing, they want to know the amount of time for residency, the residency requirements before you qualify to be able to get these reparations. So, and then they're going to go into the monetary value. You're right about San Francisco. Oakland has one. San Francisco, Sacramento. They all are working on them now.
Evanston, I think Evanston, Illinois, they also have reparations in place.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
Theirs is not as lucrative as San Francisco. They're not talking $5 million. They're talking like 25,000 per person.
Let me just say this too. I'll get a little political. This is your cousin. San Francisco, they also have a 10-year requirement. But California residency.
Okay.
In order to get any of that kind of money, you got to prove that you've been here like 10 years, and you've on census records and on all your taxes and everything, you identified as African American. That's part of it. So you see where the documentation comes in.
Yeah.
Ours, the California task force is more liberal at this point. The residency, as a matter of fact, the residency requirements from this last meeting was 180 days to 365 days.
At all?
To prove residency.
Well, I could move there and then, give me an apartment.
But it's from the time that the governor signed the bill. I think it was 2020.
Okay. I was talking to somebody else about that. My cousin, Valerie, I was talking to her about that. And I thought that there would be a residency requirement on that, $5 million. So,
well,
now you've explained it.
Yes, and that's San Francisco. So I don't want to, I don't want to over give you information that isn't accurate. But as for the California task force, we don't have a figure. That's San Francisco, what they're proposing, and that's their requirement. So what they want to do is confuse us, throw us a circle. They want to throw us off. But I'll close with this. Whatever they pay us, it's not enough.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And so for me, by using this DNA to reconstruct my family that I never had, that I have now, is priceless.
Absolutely.
So that's where I'm focusing on. Just to see your faces, knowing that we're related, you can't put a price on that. So it's time for us to go to work. Okay? Right. So The good Lord wills, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Sounds great.
Right.
Everybody have a blessed one, a safe one, and continue wearing your mask.
Yes.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
San
you.
Diego
Next year.
State tomorrow. San Diego State tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
I know that makes you really happy. They got wearing your cap over there and stuff.
Yeah, we face
Yeah.
tomorrow night's
that's
the
still,
championship.
it's still
China, did you get that
California.
number? Okay. All right.
Thanks, China.
All right, everybody take care. Be safe.
Take
Yeah.
care.
Okay,
Be
thank
safe.
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks,
blessed
Jerry,
night.
for hosting.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
You
Bye-bye.
bet.
Good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Look at that smile, China. She got a big old smile on her face. Thanks, Miranda.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, this is what we do, you know.
Well, I look forward to the next one.
Okay, cuz.
Okay, bye-bye.
Miss Evelyn. Mondale just walked off. Hey, we had a productive meeting. Really a blessing. Look forward to meeting the family in a couple of weeks. It's all good. It's all God.